Culture Currency show is for those who recognize that nuance is key. We don't pretend to have all the answers, but we tackle the issues that affect the majority when speaking of Black America. Our discussions are informed by the host's personal experiences and insights, and we're always open to evolving our perspective as we gain new understanding.
This is the story of two friends from the Bronx who decided to get real, be direct, and impact Black culture. Welcome to Culture Currency, where culture is the value.
Good morning.
Grand Rising.
Yes, yes.
How you doing today?
I'm good. You?
I'm good. I'm good. It's a nice day out today.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm
nice.
loving it. It's like perfect, right?
Yeah. Not hot,
Yeah.
not cold.
Yeah.
Just like nice.
It's chilling.
Nice. I'm excited to speak about today's topic. I want to see where this goes.
Yeah. So today we're talking about ageism as it relates to how we relate to and honor our elders in this day and age.
Yeah. I'm Mahogany.
I'm Ish.
And this is Culture Currency.
With culture
is the value. There's a big disconnect when it comes down to, generations of people. We got our elders who have a certain feeling about our young people, and our young people who have a certain feeling about our elders.
Right.
Where do you think it comes from?
It's all ageism, right? And I think it comes from like each age group feeling like I know best. So the elders, they have the experience, I know best. And you have the younger kids that's like, but this is now, I know best. You know what I mean?
I like
so
that.
It's coming from that.
I like that perspective.
Yeah.
I like that perspective. Because I watch, and I'm like, there is absolutely... both sides have a point. Right. Both sides have a point. When I see, the disconnect between young people and feeling like their voices are unheard or unnecessary when it comes to elders. Right. I think they have a point there. And when I watch elders think about how they have so much to offer to young people in regard to information, experience, even a moral standard. I agree with that too.
Go deep into that. What you mean about the moral standing?
I think that there's a large group of people who believe that everything changes with time. And with that understanding, they believe that that also includes morals and principles. And that's not a true statement.
Yeah, that's not a true statement at all. First of all, I just want to say that both groups have a lot to gain from each other.
Absolutely.
So when we have intergenerational projects and opportunities, that's always good, but we can all learn from each other, right?
Absolutely.
Across generations. I mean, it's imperative that we do. And it's a missed opportunity when people don't take that opportunity,
I agree,
and understand the importance of that. But in terms of the way like ethics and morality and all that changes over time, it doesn't. People choose to do that for convenience. Morality and ethics should not change over time.
You break the foundation, you break everything. Everything falls.
That's right.
So if morals and principles is the foundation, I don't care what year it is.
Right.
It's still the foundation.
Exactly.
Even people half our age are old to a certain demographic of young people.
Right.
It's wild to see. Where do you think that comes from?
I think it comes from our views and opinions about things. So say I'm talking to, my niece and nephew or whatever, and I'm saying something that's outdated, whether the slang is outdated, whether I'm not understanding the whole shorthand text that I have to decipher, and I'm not up to date on that. So it's like, okay, you're not in the new, you're not in the now, so you're auntie for real.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that being the deciding factor for them.
Right.
You're ancient if you was born in the 1900s.
1900s is hilarious. First of all, 1900s is 1900s.
1900s, like we talking about the 1600s, like we BC.
Wow, 1900s. Nah, that's illy. That's mad funny. That's how it's being described.
Yeah,
okay.
That's hilarious to me.
Yeah, that is very funny.
That is super hilarious to me.
But when you think about it, we have been in the 2000s for 25 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when we saying 70s, 80s, it's like, that's like when my grandparents was born in the 20s. You know what I'm saying? 1920s.
My father was born in the 40s. My mother was born in the 50s.
Yeah, my parents 50s. Too. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, it makes sense. Because we are them.
Yeah,
we only a few years away from what they were. You know what I mean? So it does make sense. Because in 1990, 1927 was crazy. Like, Grandma, when you was born,
that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Hearing my grandmother talk about like 1910, it was like, nah, 1910
how you was 15?
Wild.
Right. You was 10 in 1910? That is crazy. You was a slave, Grandma?
Yo, there's a clip of this young kid. He asked his father what year he was born. And his father was born... I want to say he was an 80s kid. He said 1980 something, and his son said, "How did it feel to be a slave?"
Nah.
He was dead serious. How did it feel to be a slave? Is crazy. Wild.
I mean, so I'm thinking about professionally when I seen an elder dismissed that started this program. And, you know, when she left the program, she wasn't consulted with on how to keep, you know, on the history of the program and the way things were and all of that kind of stuff. And I think what happens is that the new folks who take over things, you get full of yourself or you want your way so much. But what happens is that a lot of times you lose the fabric. And I think there's insecurity where you feel like if somebody more experienced is at the table, they're going to take over your thing. You know what I mean? But I don't think that. But that program really lost its luster after that. It was literally never the same. And I think one of the main reasons is because the person who put her blood, sweat, and tears, the foundation of it, you kicked that all the way out. You was never supposed to do that.
Never. Never. I'm happy you said they lose the fabric. Because that's exactly what I'm speaking of when I speak of our young people believing that our moral compass and our principles change with time. It goes away with time.
Right.
That is the fabric.
Right.
So once you get rid of the fabric, you get rid of the thing.
Yeah, you get rid of the thing, and then you're recreating something that never was broke, as opposed to building on and refining what was already there. People are always trying to like do something new and different and do it over, but it's like it's such rich stuff in the soil. You don't throw away the soil.
No, you add to. You don't take away.
You don't take away.
When you speak of the founder, it took me to hip hop. It's like the elders of hip hop, the people who created it. Once they got rid of them, people started trying to change the bylaws. They started trying to change everything that made hip-hop hip-hop.
Right.
So now the culture isn't the culture anymore.
Right.
And anytime you do that, anytime you believe that you know better than the people who created something,
right, that's
you
when
all
you
the way
lose.
lose.
Yeah.
You all the way lose.
Right, and also part of it is about learning and wanting to learn. A lot of us want microwave things as opposed to taking some time to really learn about what it is that you're doing. So say if you're on, you're in music and you came in the 90s or whatever. I think, having access to the godfathers of hip-hop and talking about the culture and where it came from and the reasons why, those kind of things would have helped keep the culture so rich. But just, keeping in mind the purpose of it and the reasons behind it and the stories being told and what it did for the community and keeping all those things.
Yeah, because purpose matters.
Yeah.
And once you know the purpose, it makes it that much more valuable
to you
to hold on to it.
That's right.
It's the same as cultural appropriation, right?
Right.
You don't have to be a different race to culturally appropriate.
Right.
And you only like what you get from it.
You're looking like it.
You're not valuing
the
actual culture.
Exactly.
Right? And to bring it back to what we're discussing with our elders, it's like we love what they created. We love what they laid down for us. We love the fact that their blood, sweat, and tears created avenues for certain levels of freedoms for us. And then we throw them away.
It was like, appreciate you. Right. And you know what? That's the way of America, though, when you think about it. You know what I mean?
And we don't want to be the way of America.
Right, exactly. America is a capitalistic society, right? So whenever There's where value is not seen, monetary value is like, okay, this old person or this old thing can no longer earn us, where we can actually see it, then there's no value.
Anything that has a code of ethics, the code of ethics is what keeps it tight. And it's what doesn't allow for someone to like pull at its strings and unloosen it. Right. Hip hop has a code of ethics, but when capitalism got involved, it made sure that the people didn't value the code so that it could pull at the strings.
That's right.
And a part of that comes by way of not valuing the elders.
That's right.
It took years because the people who came after the LLs, the Kanes, the Rakims, the KRS Ones, the Slick Ricks, we still held a lot of value for those people. It was like, yo, you know what I mean? And a part of it was experiencing them. Right?
That's right.
The experiencing them, the value in which they spoke. KRS One still speaks a lot of value to this day.
My first tape was Big Daddy Kane. I remember my first tape.
I used to tape everything, but Rakim was my woo.
But you're a lot older than me, so.
I like my head. She tried to hit me with the That's what this show is about. I was born in 1900s and so is she. But nah, let's bring it back to our elder conversation, right? There is something to be said for experience. You know, a lot of people say age is just a number. But that's the furthest thing from the truth.
That's right.
Acknowledging age, acknowledging someone who has some time on this earth doesn't take away the ability to understand that youth also has offering.
Right, exactly.
However, the elder who has lived through some things that we couldn't fathom, who has experienced some things, who has got lessons from some things. See, that's the difference too. A lot of times when you start thinking about maturity, it's like, oh, age and maturity go together. Not quite true. Right. We have elders that didn't necessarily take the lessons. But those elders who received the lessons from their experiences, that is wealth like no other.
Exactly.
And if we really valued that and allowed them to give us information the way that they desire to give us information, instead of pushing back, we'd be better for it.
Yeah, we'd definitely be better for it. I don't know, sometimes I just really have an idealistic mind, where I wish that, you know, in certain industries it could be like a elder council for every different industries, where you could have like conferences or whatever like that, where you're hearing from the founders of these things. So the founders of hip hop, the founders of some of the most successful nonprofits in history, you know, the founders of people and folks in film, like just talking to us about the industry and the different things that they went through, so we can learn from it and build from it.
It's not undoable.
Know what I mean?
It's definitely not undoable, especially since we're creating our own tables. Maturity is what allows you to understand that knowing a lot doesn't mean knowing it all, right?
Love it.
Youth believes that knowing a lot means you have nothing to teach me.
Right.
And so I think that's where the disconnect
and
comes
that's ignorance, actually.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's what youth is. It's ignorance. Is you don't have the information, you don't have the experience. Right? So ignorance is just not knowing.
Right. You know, I was talking to my stepdaughter a couple of days ago, and she said something. She was like, I don't think so. I said, let me ask you something. I said, who here has been to high school before? She said, you. I said, who here just started high school 1 month ago? Me. I said, okay, I'm trying to teach you something. I've been here, I've done it. So you could take it or leave it, but I'm trying to teach you something based on experience. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I don't think that's not how I go. You don't even, how you know how I go? You just got here September 8th.
I have those conversations with Sadie all the time.
Yeah, like.
All the time.
Like,
she be like, but that's not how it goes anymore, G-Ma. anymore. So she tried to hit me with the, yeah, you did it, but things have changed.
Yeah, things have changed, and a
things
lot
have
hasn't.
changed, but I'm also still in the school.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm telling you, she's like, yeah, but that's New York, so she got to answer for everything. And I'm
so
like,
don't
listen,
take it. Yeah.
I give you the information, you decide to do with it what you will, and
holla at me. In order to be open to learning from your elders, you also have a thirst for learning. Not just a thirst for doing or wanting to be the one, the top one, the shiner and all that kind of stuff, but have a thirst for learning. And from that, you're going to go into your history. You know what I'm saying? Like when I went to school for film, I was a teaching artist for mad years. I didn't know what to go to college for, so I went for media and, what I went to school for? It was in the early 2000s.
See,
no, but
that's because she's
exactly.
1900s.
Oh no, it was the 1900s. Actually, it was the 1900s. That's why I can't remember. But anyway, I went to school for media and communications, and I'm like, oh, what am I going to learn by going? I'm already teaching it. I learned so much when I went to school. I learned about the history of film and where it came from. So I had that. So I had that knowledge, and I see how things have evolved over time and where we are today with these digital cameras and all that. So it was just good to have that knowledge. But in terms of my longevity as a nonprofit, because I had the Laura Varels, I had the William Norrises, my dad, I had the Mindy Millers, the Lynn Powells, like these 60s, 70s, 80s that have guided me along the way from all of their experience. And I talk to them and I ask them. But one thing, I always try to do stuff myself, and what I don't understand, I go and ask
questions
for those that experience.
Absolutely. I think that's where the wealth I'm talking about comes from. It's like that's a bank.
Yeah, it's a bank.
It's like go borrow something real quick.
Yeah.
And apply it.
Right.
Last week, because my mother canceled on us coming over, so I was able to make it to the Black Belt Union meeting. And everybody was happy to see me. And within the discussion, a whole bunch of conversation came up about what everyone sees me doing and how proud they are. And I had to let them know, as my elders, like, I'm a product of y'all.
Yeah.
Like y'all was the people who were guiding me, who was mentoring me. This is us. As I show up, know that I'm representing y'all. You know what I mean? And that's important. It's important to pay it forward to the people who have loaned their experience, their information, their time, effort to us being able to be a step further in our world.
I love this.
When it comes down to this elder conversation, I want you to touch on the blind spot that elders have with the youth.
That's a good point. The blind spot is not valuing the youthfulness of young people, right? When you're older, life has hit you in so many different ways that sometimes you get a little jaded, right? And then the things that what youth brings to the table is a certain level of idealism and open-mindedness, and they're not quite jaded yet, right? So what young people can bring to the table that a lot of times the elders miss is what's happening today, the new fresh color that you can add to your dated material. I think about the fresh energy that young people can bring to the table.
Young people who speak of, like, if I was a slave, I would have, right? But they're thinking from what they understand of the world, right? So most of them are not thinking that they're barefoot outside, in the world where there's no pavement, right? They're not thinking about the fact that you're gonna have to run through lakes and, you know what I mean, and there is no buildings covering, so you're out in the open as you're running. Weapons. You don't have weapons. They're not thinking. They're seeing it from what is already exists in their mind,
and you don't have resources. Where you going?
So there's a huge blind spot, and I hate when people reach back and make statements like that as if as if they think they know better than the people who are actually there. Right. So when I say that, I'm saying that because, in the flip side, it is very much similar. Although elders have been there and done that to some degree, they haven't done it in this environment.
In this day and time,
So this environment is different. laws are different, environment is different, people interact differently, the resources are different. There's a lot of different components that they're dealing with that you didn't deal with.
Right. So you can't even consider it.
So it's certain things that you're not considering when your discussion.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And I know that most would say, well, a lot of that stuff is here because we didn't have it and we paved the way for that stuff to be here.
Right.
And thank you. But you still need to be able to identify that in order for us to connect.
Exactly.
And be able to learn from one another. Right. So I think that is that's something that's a blind spot on both ends.
Exactly. So imagine bringing experience and revitalization together.
It would be
on
powerful.
Everything.
Powerful.
Oh my goodness.
Powerful.
So powerful.
The ability to listen, the ability to receive a certain level of judgment, the ability to refine your foundation when it comes down to moral standings and principles and how they work for you and not against you. All of those things are necessary for that union to happen, right? Because there's something to be said for the lack of respect on both ends. When I say lack of respect, anytime you hear me speaking of respect, I'm speaking of consideration, not admiration. Neither side is considering each other. And that's what we're talking about, those blind spots. We're not considering each other's plight.
I think it's really important for elders to also resource young people as well, right? And thinking about, this is what I've always done. You know what I mean? It's getting a little dry. You know, it's not really hitting the way it's supposed to. I'm not feeling as confident talking to the youth of today. Sitting with a person that's doing what you were doing now, and helping them see, this is what I have, this is what I've done. How can we freshen it up with what you know? You know, how can I freshen this up, and how can you help me? Actually, you know what?
We need to learn to speak each other's languages.
That's how Lynn actually used me. You know what I mean? Because she was already in her 60s when she started getting to this conflict resolution, restorative practices work. She was an actor but she always did social justice work. But she was like, damn, I need to work with Aisha, because when I go, an older white woman, when I go into these schools, they're not really going to gravitate towards me. She's creating these curriculums and stuff like that, but I'm like, nah, this is corny. This is moving too fast. They're not going to listen to this. Let's add this to it. This is not a hip example. Let's boom, boom, boom. And then that's how we were able to work so well together. She had all experience, you know, of doing this stuff. I didn't, but I knew this age group.
And y'all both received from that.
And we both received from that.
You learned how to do what she knew how to do, and she learned how to do what you knew how to do.
That's right.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Beautiful. And that's important. That's important. I wanted to discuss the hand that capitalism plays within our elders being pushed aside.
It's fucked up, man.
You know what I mean? I believe that, and this is from my experience and knowledge growing up, what I seen, what I experienced, what I've, you know, all of those things. The Black way is lineage, respect for lineage, value for family, and our elders have always been like the cornerstone of all of that.
That's right.
Our grandparents was everything.
That's right.
Right?
I love Tom and
Grandma. Man, listen.
Yeah.
I don't have a grandparent left, and anyone who does, it's like, yo, milk that.
Yeah.
Enjoy that.
Enjoy it.
Take it, like,
spend that time.
Ask the questions.
Yes.
Yo, just if you could squeeze all the juice out of that fruit, do that.
Yeah.
Do that.
Learn
and
everything.
They'll love to give it to you.
Yeah.
They'll love to give it to you. Because it's something you don't get. It's something that you don't get anywhere else.
Absolutely.
You just don't.
But because you can't, you know what I mean? The elders, they hold the history. They hold the first-time experiences. They hold the stories of family members you've never gotten to meet because they passed but before you. You know what I mean? They hold your family history, so spend time and ask those questions. Definitely.
Yeah. Knowing that is at the core of us, and then seeing how things maneuver now is disheartening. But I do believe it has a lot to do with culture taking over culture. We had a whole discussion about culture taking over culture, and we brought up the fact that capitalism has swallowed Black culture in a grave way. And a part of Black culture all of a sudden disregarding our elders has to do with us taking on the same type of outlook and thinking that when something doesn't have monetary value, it doesn't have value anymore.
Yep.
And our elders don't bring monetary value; they bring so much more.
Exactly. But no, but what they bring can actually turn into monetary value. Because how do you change something into money without being able to create something? And how do you create something sustainable without having a foundation? So they are connected to all that. But I think there's also about, like you said, the monetary stuff is connected to grind culture. Because if you're so busy trying to make it, trying to do this and do that, you leave
You don't got time for that.
You don't have time for that. You leave the slower folks behind, and you hardly spend time with your older mother, your older dad, your grandparents. You're not spending time because you're so busy running around.
Yeah, I mean, I can't act like I haven't been
guilty of it.
Guilty of
Same
that
here.
in the past,
Yep.
I remember feeling very guilty after my father died behind me being grinding so much. I'm chasing my dreams and I'm not spending time the way that I should.
Yeah.
And then he's gone, and now the clock is over.
Yeah,
There's no getting that back.
Yeah.
And that's the worst feeling in the world is regret. Regret
Yeah, exactly.
is the worst
disgusting.
feeling in the world. And so, that's why I speak a lot about, just kind of living in the moment and really identifying what is valuable to you truly. You know what I mean? Because you can lose sight of that when you're trying to, do this rat race.
Right.
Chasing money.
Exactly.
When that's not even the values. What's your fondest memory with one of your grandparents?
Oh man, this makes you smile right away. My grandma Kitty, my dad's mother. She came and picked me up one day. It was just me and her hanging out, and she came and picked me up, took me to Fordham Road, and I got a couple things. And one of the things, I got these pink shoes. They look like from my memory, they look like they weren't wallabies, but kind of like that. These pink shoes that I loved. And then also, she used to make this same stuff every time we went over there. It would be spaghetti in a can, Chef Boyardee. It was pancakes, but in shapes. And she used to make these shapes, which we always loved. And she used to have fish with vinegar on it. And I couldn't wait to get older to have some fish with vinegar on it.
Did you ever get it?
Actually, I'm gonna do it now because I'm like, I gotta throw some vinegar. She used to always have fried porgy or whitey and throw vinegar on it. But,
that's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. But it's just a fond memory just of her, just being with her and spending the night. And then both of them, my mother's mother too, always being like, when it's time to run out bath water, you ain't that dirty. They feel like we ain't need a lot of water because they actually have to go get the water and do that. Y'all not understand this is different. Running. We're not in the house, it's free.
That goes back to the difference.
The difference. You ain't that dirty. Like, I got to be that dirty. Like, I just want to get in the bath. I don't want to be standing like, I got to take a bird bath for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So just, those are the memories. Then one more memory I just got to share with my grandma Nana, my mother's mother, is say, I'm sick. That would be the one to pick us up from school because she was right down the block from my school and laying on the couch while she's watching Jeopardy. Yeah, with Alex Quebec. And she's smoking cigarettes.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think those cigarettes did those cigarettes give asthma back in the day, because I don't remember us getting asthma.
I don't know.
I don't know. I
know that they started putting different chemicals in. Back then it was just pure tobacco.
Right, because all of us would have had asthma because the elders were smoking right there. But yeah, so those are my one more thing. You did it. You asked. My grandma Nanny used to make this tomato soup that me and my brother L hated. So when she went to the bathroom, we would throw. I told you?
Nope. Because I used to do shit like that too.
We'd throw it in the napkin and run and flush it in the toilet. And she'd come back and be like, "Oh, you sure ate that fast?" We're like, "Yeah, it was good, Grandma." I'm like, she knew, right?
Yeah,
she had to have
she
but
knew.
she ain't want to say nothing to give us a beating. And
I got a story just like that with pancakes. I think I told this story before, but one of my grandmothers lived right across the street from me, which is my dad's mother, and my mother's mother lived in Jersey. So when we went to Jersey, she's the one who made everything from scratch.
Dope.
She grew all her fruits and veggies. So we enjoyed, enjoyed time over there, just like fresh everything.
Right.
Everything from scratch. But also, she made everything as if she was cooking for a whole village. So if she asked you, you want pancakes, you like, yeah.
Right. She's like, yeah.
The pancakes is like this wide. They would be like this thick, and she would pile them up. My little self is not eating this. And she don't believe in wasting food. So now, if you don't eat it, you there all night long.
Come on.
Yo, that's one of my memories.
That's how obesity started.
My grandmother would not. It went from morning to dark as I was sitting at this table. No lie, because I'm not eating this.
Like, I can't.
And she's like, "You're not leaving from that table until you do." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" So I got hip, and I was like, once she left the kitchen, I put it in a napkin, flushed it, but I backed up her toilet.
Nah. So she's seeing shit come up. Not backed up her toilet.
And this is the same grandmother who hit you with switches.
Oh, no.
So I was in wild trouble.
No.
So that house, that my fond memories are mixed with.
Like, oh my God.
I'm not coming over here no more.
Right. I love you, grandma, but you be wild. Like, you be overdoing it.
And then my other grandmother, it was just a joy to watch her and my grandfather together.
Yeah.
Because she's a firecracker.
Yeah.
Like a mess. Curse up a storm. And he's a gentle giant. So he would be on the couch watching TV, and she just messing with him, and he's ignoring her, and she cursing him out, and he just zeroed in the TV. I've never seen somebody be able to block nobody out the way
really
he
didn't
did.
hear her.
It's like, yo, I'm watching TV. I'm used to this.
Right, like...
And she going off, and if you give her attention, she think it's funny. And she go off more. Mad funny. Mad funny.
That's dope that you had that opportunity to see your grandparents together, because I've never had a grandfather. I mean, I've had a grandfather, but I never had a relationship with a grandfather. I would have loved to have that experience.
Yeah, I didn't have that experience from my mother's side. My grandfather, I knew my grandfather, but they were no longer together. He already had another wife.
Got it.
Grandparents are dope, man. Grandparents are not just a wealth of information, but a wealth of love. Parents do what they have to do, right? But there's a lot that gets missed in that because they're doing what they have to do. As we just finished talking about our oversight when we're chasing the bag.
Right.
To take care of a family, there's a bag necessary. The way that this system is created is like, we can't take care of you if we don't have these things. Right. So they're doing that.
Right.
And sometimes the emotional part of it is lost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So grandparents don't have to do the rat race.
Right.
They're past that.
Right.
Now they're just giving you what your parents can't in that moment, and that's valuable.
And I want to say something about that because now it's different. Right. Because we're at the age of being grandparents, but we still have to grind. So it's still different. Because I don't remember my grandparents working because they were at retirement age at the time, right? So a lot of grandparents these days don't even have the time or the energy to spend like they were back in the day when we were younger.
But that's one of the things I'm trying to shed light on. It's like, I don't do the rat race. And of course, that comes by way of having to give up certain things.
Yeah.
But it's important for us to know what is valuable in our world.
Right.
What needs the time and effort.
Right.
And navigate from there. It doesn't mean that you have to give up everything.
Right.
You make sure that you create the environment that you need so you can still live a certain lifestyle, but also give to what is very much important to you. So I give a lot of time and effort to my children and my grandchildren because to me, like, they're after that, then what?
Exactly. Then
you know
what?
I mean? After that, then what?
Right.
Our lifespan for the majority is like, you're lucky if you live to 100.
75.
75 for men.
Right.
When you think about that, I've given a good half of my life to chasing, to going for my dreams, for all of that. You know what I mean? And then coming to the conclusion that even though I valued those things didn't have the value of what I value in my family.
Exactly.
And so now this second half is to focus on the right thing.
And I'm feeling the same way, and I'm so happy you and I, months ago, we had this conversation, and it really changed a lot for me. So Mahogany and I were talking about just ground coaching and all that kind of stuff. But we're talking about elders, I'm thinking about my mom and also my father. And figuring out a way to spend the time with them. And what came up that was like, yo, you already, you set your business right now, set your schedule. That works for you. You know what I mean? So I spoke to my team, the leadership, like, listen, my mother needs more of my time. So with that, I'm going to be having more remote days. Fridays, I'm going to be over there. There's going to be some other times that I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm taking that time. I'm not playing. I'm taking her to appointments. I'm sitting with her. I'm doing what I got to do. Because like you said, you start having that guilt. And I refuse to have regret like I had when my aunt died. And I wish that I spent more time with her than I did. I'm never having that regret again.
And the regret that I had when losing my dad, the lack of regret that I had when losing my grandmother, is that when someone passes on to their next chapter, you're gonna feel that level of emptiness. That's automatic.
Right.
But it doesn't have to feel horrible.
Right.
The horrible comes usually by way of somebody not dying from natural causes, or the fact that you didn't do your part while they was here.
That's right.
So when you do show up, you're okay. It's like all right. I have these memories. I have these moments.
And
I know I know that I actually showed up in love. They knew when they left.
They knew that I was here. It was really important to know that you did your part, and someone that you love so much, so dearly, that you showed them while you could. I'm here for you. I love you. You're
That's what love is.
Yeah.
It shows up in action.
Right. Exactly.
It's not a feeling. It has an identity.
That's right.
So, those things are important.
Yeah.
I'm happy that our conversations do turn into actions and change our course in a great way. At one point, my aunt, she's passed on now. She passed on during the whole COVID situation. She was 99, and she was one of, my oldest the oldest left in the family with all of the information. She's the one who I never knew all these years. Remember, I was telling you I never knew that I was Bayesian.
Right.
I found out I was Bayesian through her.
You definitely look Bayesian, though.
I didn't know I was Bayesian.
You knew you was Bayesian. You could tell you was Bayesian.
And she's the one who told me about my lineage in Germany and all of that. And so I got informed.
You look German.
You stupid. Not you look German. But when you are able to know your background, it does do something for you. It definitely does.
So you know how part of our culture, Black American culture is family reunions. I think there's definitely should be a time in family reunions where it's storytelling time, where we can hear stories of our family history, of something that the young people should know and remember about their family. If we want these things, we have to be intentional about it.
Yeah, because once they're gone, you can't get the information.
If we want the elders to learn from the young people to learn from the elders, make time for it. Whether it be at family reunions, whether it be at Sunday dinners, if you see.
Yeah, start with your elders. Start with your family. Start with your grandparents.
Right.
Start with your moms.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And start with your elders, get comfortable with that, and then pay it forward.
Yeah, like grandma, tell me about your child, the dad, tell me, granddad, or the elders, start just sharing with the young people. Like, I see, certain things that you're doing. I would like to share some stories about boom, boom, boom. Because a lot of times we have so many connections and we don't share it. Like, I was very upset with my mother. Not very, but I was upset that I didn't know that she was into mediation until recently.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah, like, I've been doing it for so long. And she was like, I used to do that. That was my job, to do that. With tenants in buildings, and I'm like,
nice.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh wow, and she was into photography. It is, and she was into photography. So all of this stuff I'm doing, a lot of stuff I attributed to my father,
but it was her too,
and it was her as well.
And I think it starts there, right? Because the more fond you are of your grandparents and your great grandparents and your elders in your household, you start to kind of look at other elders that way.
That's right.
Right? Because I know a part of me being so close to my grandparents, I can't see nobody violate an elder.
Exactly.
Like it grinds my gears.
That's one thing we didn't talk about.
What?
See, the importance of also those conversations and maintaining those relationships is so the respect remains. You know what I mean? Because now it's like okay to disrespect your elders, and you feel and young people are feeling like we're peers. You know what I mean? You are not crazy. A peer to your elder.
And it's like, I don't care how old you are, because
but you should.
You have to.
You have to care.
You have
to. Yes. Yeah, because without the boundary, then what's next? If you have an issue with an older person, then you get their peer to deal with that. You know what I mean? You don't be in the street arguing with elders and all that kind of stuff. Things are going a little wild crazy, but that's because there's a disconnection there. You're not seeing the value or understanding.
Also, the parents got to stop saying stuff like, I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
Like, that is not a conversation. I don't care who it is.
Right.
First off, you're putting your kids in danger.
Absolutely.
That's number one. Because let's be clear, our elders... So everybody is not on that type of time.
Exactly.
Some of us grew up with our elders.
Right.
And value them.
That's right.
And will do something for them.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, we came up in the time, you say your mother, and
now,
that was fighting words.
Yes.
My mother.
Your mother, you ain't even say nothing. You just said your mother. You ain't say nothing about the mother.
You ain't say nothing about them.
You just said your mother.
Right? That's where we come from.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So, nobody talk about my mother.
Right?
So that's how people feel about their elders,
right?
And it goes from there. Mother, grandma, granddad. You know what I mean?
Right.
Those people
right.
are our hearts.
That's right.
Right. So even if you're not in the understanding that everybody just can't get it,
right,
somebody else is.
Right.
And all you're gonna do is tell your kid that, and they're gonna meet the wrong one.
Exactly. That's right.
Because people not playing about their grandparents.
That's right.
People not playing about their parents.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So we got to get back to understanding that we got to live together.
That's right.
And in order for us to live together, beyond the ability to kind of grow and learn from one another, we have to coexist in a way that is not nasty.
That's right. That's right.
So we got to realize that in order for that to be, we have to, the same way we want to be acknowledged, we want to be heard, we want to be respected, we have to do that for each other.
That's
and
right.
That's regardless of age.
That's right, regardless of age. So that goes vice versa, right? Because we're talking about both sides. That means elders also have to have a certain amount of respect for their, for young people. You can't just be wild disrespectful and then the young people are just shutting the F up.
Nope.
You know what I mean? It's like it has to be mutual respect on the side of young people. Please. Let's just have respect for your elders, man. Walk away, you know what I mean? Go tell another older person. Because one thing that I was taught, don't let another person's actions determine your actions. So if you were taught to have respect for elders, have respect for elders. If that elder is being disrespectful, get away from them or get somebody else to deal with them.
Absolutely. I'm Mahogany.
I'm Ige.
And this is Culture Currency.
Well, culture
is the value.
Better know it.
Make sure to like,
subscribe,
share,
and comment.